Hey loves, it's Britt, and in this video I'm continuing my North Node through the houses in the natal chart series. So this video we're going to talk about what it means to have your natal North Node in your fourth house. So the North Node in our natal chart shows where our soul is going. It is a point of destiny or fate. And usually, when we embody and embrace those qualities of our North Node, we feel a sense of deep fulfillment from our soul. Now, the North Node is always directly opposite to the South Node, and the South Node shows a point of comfort. It shows where we're naturally gifted and, qualities we're really strong in. But if we solely stay there, it's kind of like the comfort zone, we become stagnant. So the goal is to really understand those qualities of the South Node and use them to build upon and then go forward towards the North Node. So with this placement of the nodes, it really shows that in past lifetimes or in even this lifetime, there's been an over focus on the public image and like the way other people are looking at you, and you are moving towards going into a more like personal level, like looking at yourself from within, and are you truly fulfilled from within, rather than are people looking at you from the outside and saying, wow, good job. It's about going within and saying good job to yourself and doing things that feel right emotionally, deep within. So the 10th house is like the most public point in the chart, right? And the fourth house, we're talking about North Node in the fourth house today. The fourth house is like the most personal, intimate, hidden point of the chart. It's like the IC is like the darkness, right? And then the midheaven is like how we're seen, and the IC is like the deep roots. So with these nodes, it's really about going more within, and that's going to feel scary. That's going to feel like, oh, well, if I focus on what I truly want and what I feel, am I going to lose that approval from these, outside people, from society or whatever? So that's what the person with these nodes really struggles with, is like actually trusting their own heart and deeper feelings versus, what am I going to look like, or am I going to be successful? So there can be many past lifetimes of being a public person or being a person in authority or power, in some big way. And the person can feel so comfortable with that, like that is their destiny, when really that's just their South Node, their point of comfort. Yes, they're really good at being that authoritative, powerful person who's directing the scene for others, and like even fame, on some level, like they could feel like that's their destiny, when really they are actually just supposed to, they can be famous. Not that they can't have those things, they definitely can. We don't want to abandon those South Node qualities, but it's really about having that from a more internal place. So if that makes sense, like, okay, it's fine to be famous and be this authoritative person. Yes, you're really good at being that with these nodes, but you want to actually do it from a place of internal fulfillment and like your true soul calling, your true heart. So the other thing with these nodes too is like you're actually coming closer to the family and to the roots, and to the like early life energies and feelings. So the fourth house can represent the early upbringing, the family, and the 10th house can represent like the social, public image, and career. So in some cases with these nodes, we're going to see the person who, is maybe so comfortable working on their career and their outer image and their, success in the outer world. But what they're actually meant to do, what their soul is really calling them to do in this lifetime, is have the adequate balance between career and family. So, it could be like the the husband who spent his whole life, just working so hard and climbing that ladder of success. And now it's actually like his soul is calling him to be at home with his family more and, be with his kids more. Or even like maybe taking care of his parents in old age or something like, and this is just like a really specific example. It doesn't have to be like exactly like that, but these nodes can show that like we're coming from that overemphasis on our career to actually learning what's really important, which is like those soul bonds with family. And maybe it's not your actual family of origin, but like those people that feel like soul family to you. Like maybe you're supposed to devote your life to serving those people from your heart, those close bonds, right? Yeah, so it's a very interesting placement of the nodes. I mean, they're all so fascinating and interesting, but with this one, it's actually about going more into the feelings and into how you actually feel about things, and what you truly were brought up in, and coming back to that. There might be, like in some cases, a person with these nodes who, when they were very young, they decided that they were going to just focus on their outer achievements, or their like even moving far away from the family or something, and then realizing that really it's their destiny to move back to the family and focus more on those people that brought them up, right? And so they could also become fascinated with like their ancestry. They're like wanting to go back and study that, like their genealogy or whatever. In some cases you could see it like that as well. That would be them focusing on their north node calling, and focusing on themselves more, as far as like themselves as how they feel, not themselves as, in the outer world or the career. Martin Schulman, in his book, which is the best book on the nodes, by the way, he says about this placement that like there could even be like a suicidal feeling in some cases if this person feels like they are not significant in the outer world. Like there's this feeling of needing to be significant, needing to be that special person, right? And it's really about letting go of that, because how you're seen in the public eye, with these nodes at least, is really not significant like they feel it is. They need to let go of that excessive need to be that person and come home to their true heart, which doesn't actually need that. They just think that they do. And maybe they were brought up in a certain way where like everything was focused on the outer world and like the image, and like maybe like I'm imagining like they were brought up in this like high society way, or like their parents were celebrities or whatever, and it was all about how you look to the world, and then now the person realizes, oh, like that's how I was brought up was not actually important, and I need to like figure this out for myself, what I actually want my life to be. Now that's just one example. Of course you can like relate it to your own life, not that it's always going to be like that, but it's a similar theme of like being brought up with that. And Martin Schulman also says this node placement is the one that needs to look at their family upbringing more than any other of the placements. Like how they were brought up really affected them in a big way, and they have to look at that with these nodes. So yeah, it's interesting, like, because the way that we're brought up in this society, for the most part, it's kind of changing now though. But like a lot of it has been focused on, outer success, and like, all the certificates on the wall. It's funny, I have all my healing course certificates on the wall right there. As I said that, I looked right at them. But it's like, this is like how we've been brought up, is like, you know, certifications and like, you know, all this like outer status image stuff, right? And with the person with this nodes is going to be the person who really realizes that that's not what truly matters. It's those close connections and those internal feelings that really create the meaning in your life. And I mean, with the reversal of these nodes, it's a bit different. It's actually where they're too attached to those personal feelings in the family and they need to get out there in society. But with these nodes, it's the opposite. They actually need to let go of all of that and come home to themselves and their true heart. So yeah, I'd love to know your experience of this placement, if this resonated. And also, I'm doing your requests, you guys. Let me know if you have a specific natal placement you want me to talk about, or synastry, or even composite. I'm doing composite chart videos as well now. And yeah, I also do one-on-one sessions. My links are below. So yeah, we'll talk soon, you guys. Thanks for watching this video. Bye.